Hello, guys. Welcome to Global Happenings. Today, we have a trending news here for you, and the headline of the news reads: Pandemic turned to business as members of the presidential task force gets huge amount of money daily as allowance. All right, but before we continue with details of the news and further analysis, we'd like to encourage you, please, if you've not subscribed to our channel, kindly click on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon. And don't also forget to like our videos, even as we continue to bring you the best of information on politics. All right, let's look at the news in detail. A political activist and former Deputy National Publicity Secretary of All Progressive Congress, APC, Comrade Timmy Frank, has revealed that daily allowances of the Presidential Task Force is 500,000 naira. Frank said officials of the federal government has turned the current corona pandemic to business, making the accusation on his official Twitter page at Real Timmy Frank on Wednesday. The Bayelsa-born political activist said each sitting for each member of the Presidential Task Force Committee goes home with 500,000 naira. He wondered how a government who has claimed that the country is broke could spend such amount daily. I'm going to read from his Twitter page so that you hear exactly what he had to say. And he said here, COVID-19 now profit making for federal government. That's why they want to withdraw $150 million to share from our sovereign wealth fund. Each sitting allowance for every member of the Presidential Task Force Committee is 500k daily. This is same government that claim they are broke, while other world leaders are volunteering to put effort in serving their nation. Certain persons in the Nigerian government are monetizing the situation. This is the same government that claim they don't have money. May God not allow corruption kill Nigerians in this at M. Buhari government. All right, he says that each member of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 walks away on a daily basis with 500k. Now, let's just try to be more detailed about this. Don't forget that we'd already been informed that 12 persons make up that Presidential Task Force Committee on COVID-19. I'm going to read their names, and then from there we now do the calculations. It's chaired by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa. And then I'm going to read the other members. And the other members, the national coordinator of the committee is Dr. Sani Alihu. Other members are Minister of Health, Professor Osage, Minister of Interior, Ogeni Raw, Minister of Aviation, Mr. Sadis Sirika, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Services, Sadiya Umar Farouk, Minister of Education, Mr. Adamu, Minister of Environment, Mr. Mohammed Mahmoud, Director General, Department of State Services, Mr. Yusuf Bichi, Director General, Nigerian Center for Disease Control, Dr. Chikwe, and World Health Organization country representative. And the committee has a mandate of 6 months to deliver on the assignment. Now, let's do our calculation. 12 persons are involved here, and on a daily basis, for every sitting, they walk away with a whopping sum of 500,000 naira. All right, so daily, how much is spent on them? 500,000 times 12. That's about 6 million naira. And now 6 million naira, let's look at 30 days in a month where they are going to be working. And 30 days in a month, that's about 30 times the 6 million naira. And we're talking about 180 million naira. Yeah, 180 million naira. And then they've been mandated, to work for 6 months. So 180 million naira times 6. Do your calculation there, and you'll be amazed how much these guys will walk away with. About 2 point something billion naira. All right, just use your calculator there. 180 million times 6, and see how much these guys will be walking away. Okay, 1 point. I think it's 1 point. 1.4 or so, 1 point something billion naira. Now, this is enough to rescue some families who are victims of this pandemic. Nigerians right now are talking about stimulus package. The palliatives are not even enough. And guess what? Most of those who are giving money for the palliative, they are actually certain Nigerian corporate individuals who believe that it's part of their, corporate social responsibility for them to help out during this period. But you can imagine some other person who are well paid by the government to function in the capacity of ministers who are not even exposed to the virus we are talking about, but they are on a daily basis walking away with 500,000 naira. Now you begin to look at what's the hazard allowance for nurses who are having one-on-one interference, who are interfacing with these victims, who are interfacing with these Nigerians who have caught up with this virus. How much are they paying them as their own hazard allowance? It's not even up to 20,000 naira on a monthly basis. They don't even pay them as much as that, but they are having an interface with these people. They are at huge risk, to contact this virus, but they don't even pay them as much as that. I sat back and I was doing a calculation where one person is smiling to the bank with an amount as huge as 500K. And I said, how if that amount is given to 10 families in a month, they will celebrate the government for doing that, and they will use it judiciously. These people who are giving this huge amount of money, not that they lack money, they are wealthy people. Some of them, if you see the houses they live in, if you see how everything has been well provided for them, in all respect, if you look at their pay package as ministers, the allowances that they have on a monthly basis, you will be grossly amazed. And one of the things I want to say here is that why the government shouldn't spend so much on these guys is, number one, if you look at most of these guys' job description, you will see that it's, I think the last job description, they will normally put stuff like that your responsibilities are not limited to what is listed in this job description, that in event of any emergency, you can be called upon by the president to be a part of any committee. It's certain to be there, which therefore means that you are meant, before you work in the capacity of a minister, you must be selfless enough to serve Nigerian people. But guess how much they are paying these people? Just to show you that they are making merchandise of the pandemic Nigerians are suffering. And this is one of the things that will continually make Nigerians not to be happy with the current administration. No matter how much these guys are doing, they are not suffering as Nigerians who are on the street. Nigeria has a system, and that system cannot accommodate everybody, such that whatever job the government of the day is providing is not enough, to cater to provide for everybody's house. For that reason, most people are daily, they go out to bring food to their household. They are not even sure of how much they are going to bring. So for you to tell them to stay back at home, how do you expect them to survive? 2 weeks we are running into 2 weeks. Some families are already, so tired of the whole thing. The fact that you are seeing people, disobeying the court order, disobeying this stay-at-home order is not because they willingly want to do it, but the fact is money is out there for me to make. Without me working my ass out, there is no way I can make money and earn a living. I've got to go out there and work. Some of them, they are not even sure of even a place to put down on their head. I could still remember at one time, I think at Warri precisely, when they went out to flog people that were outside, and there was this old man that they flogged. The video went viral. They beat the man mercilessly. He didn't even have strength to run. And by the time they were beating him, the soldiers were beating him, and he wasn't responding. And it's like this man is mental. When they got closer, he said, actually, his sleeping place was actually outside. Where do they want him to go to? And tears almost dropped out of my eyes. There's also a woman that her video went viral, if not for the fact that certain Nigerians have to gather up and see how they can provide money to give her a house. She, according to information, says she was always seen on the road at Lagos. She would sit there with her 3 or 4 years old baby girl. They were always sitting there. To a point, Nigerians had to draw closer and say, woman, why is it that you are still here? She opened up that she doesn't even have a place to lay her head. Nigerians had to rally around, and they rented an apartment for her, bought some things for her. But there are some persons who are already privileged. and they are being paid on a daily basis 500K for doing what? For updating Nigerians about what is currently happening. Are they entering bushes to go and get the information? Of course, no. They sit in their respective position, they move in convoy to certain places, and then they will feed them with adequate information. They don't even an interface to the point of touching even those who are suffering from this pandemic. They don't even go close. All what they do is by data. Somebody just sit down, feed them with the data, and then at the end of the day, they stand up and begin to talk about it, and that's the end. But here they prepare their own report. What does it take to prepare a report? Guess what? They wouldn't even be the one preparing the report. It's the secretary that will prepare the report, and they go to the presidency and say, sir, this is how far, this is our position thus far, and all of that. And they are giving them a whooping sum of 500,000 naira. Have you seen why Nigerians are always very bitter about this government? Because it seems they don't even understand what people are passing through. Look at how every state is struggling to even make food available for their own people. I mean, I've been hearing of this food. I don't even know where it is because I've not even seen it with my eyes. You understand? I don't even know where they say they give food. Where? How? Even in Lagos, Port Harcourt, where do they do all of those? I don't even know. But there's other people who are just in every opportunity that brings tears to the eyes of people. There are other people who are enjoying severely. They are enjoying. In other countries, you see some top guys giving up their salaries. I've heard in the case of, for example, in Italy, just because of the pandemic and all of that, Juventus had to talk to their players and they said, well, we are going to have a pay cut. There's no problem about that because what everybody are overly interested in is to see how they can provide to whoever that is working to ensure that they stop this pandemic. But other people are just sitting down and enjoy 500K on a daily basis. There are some people in Nigeria, as I'm talking to you, I'm telling you the truth, that annually, they go to work every day. But guess what? Annually, they don't earn even up to 400K. Some of them, they pay them as little as 30,000 naira for a whole month that they have worked. Some even, they pay them up to 50,000, 40,000 naira. Do your calculation. Is it up to just one amount somebody is earning for doing what? What are they really working? You can imagine that. And I want you to try to put yourself in the shoes of Nigerians so that you really understand what I'm saying. I think that is why you are seeing Timi Frank, if actually what he's saying is true, because I always say that most information he brings out, sometimes they are false. If actually what he's saying is true, if it's true actually, it therefore means that government have not done so well. And I think that they need to reconsider this particular thing and have a pay cut for them. If you feel that you cannot serve Nigeria selflessly, especially at a time like this where the pandemic has injured the economy, has injured Nigerians, please stay away. Some other person will be ready to do that work and provide accurate information, even more than those guys out there. All the same, we don't want to be bitter. Just go to our comment section. What do you think about this exposition? Do you think it is right for